Um, like Pathfinder 2e this fall is coming out with a very Japanese oriented setting.
That sounds right up your alley.
I think it's actually gonna be more very far east, so they're including China as well. But either way. And so I kind of wanted to do that, and the idea was kind of build up from each section or from each region a different region. So like I'd be starting with my English faction, my English/Celtic faction, then go to like the Norse countries, France, and then Germany and so on.
Okay.
Yeah. But what kind of got me was I was thinking about how to make everything balanced with what would be inside of each section, so you can like play with any of them in kind of any setting. You can like use bits from one book in another book's adventure and so on. But what I kind of found was in trying to get all of them right as their own thing, it was kind of doing this thing where it was confining me, yet I was being too ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
So now my idea is to kind of combine certain regions. So that way I can build all of them together and get a certain type of kind of game feel with them. Because like kind of like the D&D and Pathfinder is the Arthurian, the Matter of France, kind of medieval transition in from like Vikings and stuff, kind of that the Tolkien-esque fantasy. Very Anglo-Saxon. So I'm thinking for my own, I'm going to be doing France, England, and the Norse countries as one region. Because they kind of had a big shared history for the most part. And also, I think it's funny that an actual English knight will be encountering a Norwegian Viking. Or, well, Norwegian mercenary Viking. That looks like a Viking, I should say.
Cool.
Yeah.
Welcome, Liz. Is Zach on the way?
She muted herself.
Hello. Yes, he had to go help our friend of ours set up their AC. It's Jeffrey, an older guy, but
Oh, yeah.
so the AC is really heavy for him. But he has like this massive picture window that takes in a lot of heat, so they're trying to get it set up to where like the whole apartment can cool down.
Gotcha.
So he should be here soon.
Well, that's good that he's doing that. No rush at all.
Jared, are you here, buddy? I'm assuming he will be. His face is there.
Yeah,
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah,
Oh,
there he is. There we go.
I'm gonna be muted though. I'm finishing up dinner, so I don't want it to get too loud.
Okay.
But
Sounds
good
good.
to see all of y'all. Excited for tonight.
Making a few last-minute preparations while I got the time.
I seem to be having a little bit of connectivity issues, so if I go mute and say something, I'm trying to figure something else out.
Okay. Sounds good. No
Just
problem
be
at
alright.
all. Problem at all.
No, I was having connectivity issues just a little bit ago. So I connected to my hotspot. My hotspot from my phone is connected to the internet I was trying to connect to, and now it works perfectly. And I'm like, what the heck?
I think I've got an outdated router, and I think my internet provider is trying to force me to upgrade.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah,
Fat guy stuck between car door. Oh, sorry.
This is not at all what I was expecting. Oh my. I love it.
What's going on right now?
Oh, he's I think making his way over here. Making his way downtown.
Making my way downtown.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. I don't know the rest of that song. I know that one part.
About
I don't know
walking
it either.
You know,
fast.
for being a young
And
lady in the
there.
90s when that song was all over Disney Channel, I should know way more of that song.
You should have it memorized, really.
Then I should have that memorized, but I guess that's, me marching to the beat of my own drum. If it was on, I would have every word of it down.
yeah. I didn't know Disney Channel was still a thing until my niece and nephews came over and reminded me, oh yeah, that's a thing.
Do you think Disney Corporation would leave a single source of revenue untapped if it exists? Do you think it would abandon a single penny of revenue?
I mean, concerning how just phoning it in, some of the stuff is.
Yeah, but they're Disney. They can get away. Like, people are still going to go see every crummy movie they make. And like every Star Wars series they make, I'm gonna watch. Some of them are okay, some of them are fantastic. Some people hate them, but like I don't know, man. At some point, your market share is so big, you can just do what you want, and people just deal, or they just watch it because they, you know what I mean, like because like oh well, it's Disney. Like there's tons of people that just watch everything Disney.
Yeah, but who's wanting to watch the escapades of Disney villains' children? I think that's a show on there.
Dude,
Like-
listen, I don't know
The
for
children
sure,
of real world villains.
but like I've seen some kids programming recently since hanging out with children, and like I'm telling you right now, it's rough. Kids shows, I would like to pretend, and I choose to believe the fiction, that the shows that I watched as a child were a lot more well written and interesting than what they got going on right now. But like, it's rough. There is no plot.
There's
Like,
a lot of
I'm
garbage
pretty-
out there.
I'm pretty sure most of these shows that are incredibly popular are like mostly average. It's brutal.
I don't know if it's better or worse, considering things like Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh existed.
I mean, so like looking back, like original Pokemon, and you know, like some of the stuff that we watched as kids. Like I don't know how much like Cartoon Network you watched. Did you ever watch Johnny Bravo?
I
Hell
did
yeah.
on occasion in Boomerang.
Okay, yeah. So like Johnny Bravo, Two Stupid Dogs, the one where the two kids are constantly at war with the actual devil, but he's mildly incompetent.
What?
Retrospect, they weren't the greatest, but like there was plot, there was like some semblance of development and resolution and story. Like, oh,
That was the funniest description.
I don't remember what it was called.
What show was that?
They're fighting the devil, but he's mildly incompetent.
Wait, was this The Grim Adventures?
Yeah, there you go. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. There you go.
It wasn't the devil, it
Oh.
was Death. Or the Grim Reaper, I should say.
Yes, I
Well, no,
watched that one.
maybe not. Which one was the one where the devil bought like the oil rights under the kid's house from them, and so like their house was just held up by like a tiny little column of rock, and it was just like underneath it, excavated out, was a bunch of like oil derricks and stuff like that, and then like they tricked the devil. There was definitely a devil because I remember he didn't wear pants, and they made a big deal about him having a butt. That might have
That sounds like an Alaskan exclusive to me.
it
Are
was
you talking about the old cartoon
Cartoon Network.
He walked on his butt, and then the cow and chicken?
Cow and Chicken, yeah, that one. Thank you. Cow and Chicken.
Absolutely, it was like the child version of what's the stupid, pointless one of those cartoon ones, like American Dad.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And was I talking to one of y'all the other day? That's about never mind. That was something else. Grim Reaper, but that was never mind.
Have you seen like the super subversive children's shows that are on now?
I need to go watch
I think
Adventure
one of
Time.
Um,
them is called like The Adventures of Dumble or something like that. Anyways, I used to work with this guy. He loved to watch cartoons every Saturday. That was his thing. He would just put on cartoons and watch cartoons all day, and I would like pick up shifts at his house on the weekend. And like, so I did, nothing else to do. I'm sitting there watching cartoons. And like, some of them aren't bad. There was just one where all of the people are animals, and like one guy's a woodpecker, and I think the other one's a raccoon. I can't remember. That was pretty cool. That was neat. That like had interesting lessons. This other one, The Adventures of Gumball or whatever, it was like, I don't know. In one episode, it was like, don't pretend not to be smart, because if you're smart, the government will come and take you away from your family. And that was like plot of the episode. And there was another one where it was like, the only way to get ahead is to be a bad person. I'm just like, this is a kids show. What's going on here?
Oh,
I did watch the later end of The Amazing World of Gumball. It's very random humor, and sometimes you could take away, oh, maybe it's this lesson, but then other times it's like, okay, is it this message? It's very confusing.
It struck me, yeah, like it struck me as
Luckily-
fair, like none of it, but it struck me as fairly subversive. There's one episode that was like, owning property makes you evil, and I'm like, that's not cool. Let's not teach kids that nonsense.
Yeah.
I know enough parents
Yeah.
that like they watch enough of the shows because they're intriguing enough to know which ones are like BS. Like I worked with this lady, and this is the much younger subset, but there's a show for like younger kids called Peppa Pig. And
Hey, Peppa Pig!
Oh,
sorry
that's
for my
where
language,
that
this
pig
is just how
comes
the
from.
story goes. Joey walks in, she said, Peppa Pig is sassy as shit, and I'm not having it. So Peppa Pig isn't allowed to come play anymore. And I was like, it's a whole kid show. She's like, that's what I thought too. She's like, until my daughter started sounding like Peppa, and then
Yeah, I need to get on D&D Beyond.
I did not know there was such strong
Oh.
opinions of kid shows.
I forgot. I need to be on D&D Beyond.
I actually need to get on Roll20.
I am almost to my street. I'm like legit 2.5 minutes away. Sorry about that.
Oh.
Jeffrey couldn't get his AC hooked up in his
problem.
living room, and so he was just like dying of heat stroke. And it took a little longer than
We
I thought
don't
to
want
get
that
for
to
him to
happen.
get back from work.
Yeah.
No. Like I got in there, I walked in, and it was like, oh my god, it's like a friggin' sweatbox in here. And I am not that I am exceptionally handy. I am mildly handy, but compared to Jeffrey, I'm a friggin' contractor. So he's always like,
Bless y'all's heart.
for help. Like, I'll try. Like most of my fixes involve duct tape, just so you know.
I know someone else that has those tall windows, and they were complaining about having to put one of those AC things in. I'm like, it's too tall for all the pieces they give you. And I was like, well, you can do it. I only know how to do it in a ratchet way. It's not going to be cute, but it does work.
I have a window that the AC unit does not fit as well because it's too wide, and so I cut a spacer to put in there, and then I had hail hit it last year and broke one of the outer panes, and so now on the outside of the window I have plywood just boarding up the whole window because there's no
It's
more
the best insulation, right? Like, no heat or cold is getting out of that now.
I just left it through the winter and it's still that way right now. It's just, why change it? I don't ever look out that window.
It's probably better for the AC that way, so. You could paint like a really pretty mural on either side of it.
And then
To like
just
give it the cartoonish illusion that you are looking inside of a house. Or outside of the house.
Probably outside would be better because looking from the outside, you would see the siding still looks like Swiss cheese from the hail hitting it.
No, but like on the other side, like if you're standing outside, it looks like you're looking into a window, and if you're inside your house, it looks like you're looking outside of a window.
I have to put something funny on the one that looks like you're looking inside.
Like, why are you being
Does
a
your
creature? Why are you peering into my
does your-
windows?
cover hail damage?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
It just wasn't bad enough to really justify changing it or fixing it. So we let it be.
Yeah, you gotta let that stay for a few years because you'll be changing siding, car
Mhm.
paneling every year.
Mhm.
So
This house isn't going to last very long anyway. It's already got a few roof leaks, and the floor is rotting out on the other side of the front door because of the runoff that's coming underneath the door and rotting out the subfloor.
now you're living in a trailer house, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. At least it's not like a built-in,
Yeah.
you know.
I can fix it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I have other things going on. Oh, did I tell? Let's see. I told Zach and Liz. I think I got in. Like I almost got killed on Sunday.
What?
I don't think I was there for the whole story about what happened. I remember us talking about concussions.
Yeah, I had built a motorized bicycle, which I've done many times, and I built it really
I saw
soundly.
that the other day.
And
Yeah.
I was riding it in town, and then something completely unrelated failed. The front axle on the bike snapped, and the fork went into the ground, and I went over the bars. But before that happened, when the axle snapped, it started pulling heavily to the left. And so my bike was trying to kill me by sending me into traffic because I was on the shoulder. And then all of a sudden it seriously, like catastrophically failed and the whole wheel buckled. The bike did a somersault. I tucked into a roll somehow. I don't even remember how I did it. And like the front wheel is completely out of shape and the back wheel has also exploded.
I'm back, baby.
It was one of my favorite bikes ever. But I bought a replacement bike today, so all's well that ends well. Good to see you back there, Zach. All right. I will give a very brief, whatchamacallit, recap of what happened 2 weeks ago, except it was more like 3 weeks ago, due to sickness and other similar things getting in the way. You all met your new companion Musrim in the city of Mintarn in the Noble District, just outside of the Strangled Cat Tavern, where he had been tossed out. And
bout of acid reflux at all.
And then shortly thereafter learned that he was actually a crew member that you just had never really noticed on your ship. And it was time to leave. So you left Mintarn. The ship had been repaired and restocked and sort of refilled with crew, because a few had died in the last encounter. So everything's shipshape again, and you left the ship, or left the port, I mean, heading for Caer Caladir, when you were beset by a giant jellyfish that you ended up managing to not exactly defeat, but it was a success. And in the process, yes, that would be a good way of putting it. And in the process, you managed to unintentionally, just through bad luck, get your rudder torn off by that giant jellyfish, leaving you kind of, the best way I could describe it is like crab walking across the surface of the ocean. I dropped the Soundtail number in our chat because it's going to be, it's like kind of sets the mood for what's going on tonight. We did have a very short little session last week with Musrim and Valmira, and I just figured that probably Gedlin and Zoran were maybe below decks, either resting or doing something else important, and kind of came up because of all the hubbub. So we're gonna do a slight backtrack to what happened because I made a recording, but I chose not to upload it. It just wasn't interesting enough. So you had gone through a pretty nasty storm, and after that storm had passed, things looked very, very, very good for travel. And the whole day had passed. You all went to bed, and you were woken up in the early morning by the sound of hubbub up on top of the ship. All four of you stirred from your slumber, made your way up to the top of the deck, and found that the sky was just as dark as it was when you decided to retire to your hammocks down below. Almost as if no time had passed. It's extremely dark, but yet you know that the time is late. It should be past dawn. There should be light on the horizon. Things gradually get a little bit brighter for you. And you notice that the reason for everything being dark is you are surrounded by a very thick mist. And along... oh shoot, I gotta multitask here, because something just went wrong. This mist does not move at all with you. As you pass... As you basically are sitting on on the surface of the ocean that is as still as a mill pond. It's quite concerning to those of you who might be nautically inclined. You are making no progress, and the fog around you grows continually more dense. And only a little bit of the sun is actually starting to shine through.
Is the mist is did you sorry I was switching out with that did you let them know that it's an illusion that we had detected that last time?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so Valmira did cast detect magic and understood that it was a like the school of illusion. It was a magical mist. Why in the world is my stuff not working tonight? I'm having a little technical issues. That's why my description's not so good. Let's see if I fixed it finally. There we go. Alright, sorry about that. My attention was divided. In the distance, you notice a faint green light. And if you are on Roll20, you should see that faint green light as it's emanating an unquantifiable distance from your ship, obscured by the fog. This faint green light bobs up and down with the waves. And it starts to move a little bit closer to you. It takes you a few minutes to recognize this. As you recognize this, the crew start whispering things. You hear a little bit of a panic set in with a few of the crew members as they don't start screaming or shouting, but they begin hyperventilating. Some of them, no, it can't be. A few of the men lose all nerve and actually go down below deck and are lost to sight, and you hear a bit of a hubbub down below deck.
Oh, sorry, baby, you're muted. You can't on that.
I would ask. Yeah, I would ask a crew member nearby. I was like, can't be what? What's going on?
Let's see what it's called here.
Probably ghost pirates.
It's
So calm.
the Buchanan, the ship Buchanan. It's a dreadful sight. Oh, I didn't believe it to be true. That's what it must be. I've heard stories of this.
We think it's a ship out there?
Yes, can't you see it? The green light begins to get a little bit closer.
I see a single light. That the mirror? What's your name? Did you say this was an illusionary? It seems like it's magic. Have we tried to get rid of
I'm
it?
not sure if the chip is actually real.
Okay. I will. Where'd it go? I believe I have dispel magic. Can I try and dispel magic on the fog and everything?
You can try. You
Yes,
will
magical
try.
effect within range. Yeah. 120
By the-
foot range, so I'll just try and
Ooh.
dispel the fog. For each spell of 4th level or higher, any spells of 3rd level or lower, the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. 10 plus the spell's level is the DC.
That's interesting. My material doesn't say anything about whether or not it can be dispelled, but I'm going to roll it can, because that makes total sense. And what kind of does it do? Like a circle? Is it a line? Like, how does that spell work?
I think it's on a target. So it says choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range.
Within
So,
range.
Yeah,
Okay.
with 120 feet.
It's definitely in range at this point. It's probably close to 100 feet away. Okay. Does it have a radius? Just curious.
No, it just says range area 120 feet.
Okay.
What's the area of effect then?
I think it's more. It disbands.
I think I
it
choose
into
I choose a target, and if that target's within 120 feet, that's
Yeah.
what I'm aiming.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, I gotta think for a second on how this would work, because mechanically it's a little complicated. You're targeting the light?
That would seem like a logical thing to target.
Okay. We'll say the entire bulk of what would have been the ship that the light was attached to all of a sudden disappears from sight, and you see the clear morning rays shine through in a probably about like a 50-foot radius circle in the area where that little light was. And oddly enough, it still continues to move relative to you. You are completely still in the water. You can't move at all, but the ship, the illusionary ship, which now is just basically like a ray of sunshine as you've dispelled that illusion, continues to move, and it's actually circling around towards you quite slowly.
So we're seeing
I
like
see.
just a point of light that's moving around.
Yeah, it's kind of like a break in the clouds with like normal sunlight shining down through that break in the clouds. But the weird thing is the break in the clouds is moving as if it was that ship still.
I see.
So
Ghost
can
pilot
you maybe compare
cameras.
that, like, whatever was casting the magic is there? Because that's what I'm curious about.
You are unable
Like,
to
if the
tell.
ship's not, because if this ship's not real, then what is? That's my biggest question.
Give me a really difficult perception check, and you may be able to find out.
I was gonna
Okay.
say that maybe
No,
that was an illusion to draw our attention, and we should look behind us because the real thing is, creeping up while our attention is the other way.
That sounds like wisdom to me.
Dang it.
I turn around.
Look at low rolls.
There is nothing directly behind Zoran. I'll give you that. No roll necessary on that one. Valmira gets a 5. Yeah, that's not gonna do it, Valmira. Is anyone else interested in providing said check? So you're welcome to if you want to.
I got 16.
Mushroom got a 6, which is not enough. 16.
Sorry about that. I was talking to you guys the whole time, but Liz had me muted, and I hit because I was using her headphones.
No problem. Is there anything you wanted to repeat now that we can hear you?
No, I was gonna say like dispel magic was great. I want to ask the nearby sailors what are the rumors of this ship? Like what happens when people meet this ship? You guys seem pretty terrified.
Oh, okay.
Like can we assume that it's to be treated as hostile?
They have heard of people that encountered the ship that managed to break away, almost like a convoy of ships, and those that didn't escape went into a dark mist, did not come out. Very loud sounds came from that mist, and then after it disappeared, there was nothing but wreckage in the water.
Okay, then I want to start looking in the water because let's see here. Do I have any perception-based spells?
One thing for Zoran, because he got a 16, but it's not enough, but it's something. You notice that the water is rippling where the illusionary ship would have been.
What do you think, Mushroom? Large fish or submarine?
Probably. What?
Submarines are so cool, y'all. I've only heard. Oh my goodness! I want to see one in real life.
It's the hunt for the Red October.
Bad.
Yeah.
Isn't those? Isn't that like a gnomish invention? It sounds vaguely familiar.
Sure, let's go with that.
Are gnomes common in this part of the sea?
A sub? You mean like one of those sailors that like goes on the land and hurts people, but is also on the ground?
What?
Who said
No, like
That's a dwarf. That's you.
submarine, like
No, I'm
you would say if like this boat was like under the water, like
If
that.
this boat was under
That
the
would
water,
mean that it was
sunk.
submarine.
But it's
Yes.
but it's supposed to be under the water. I don't fully understand it either. I've just heard about it.
We can know when you're fourth dimensional. Okay, so you're talking about some
wait,
kind of
is this
artificial
like-
fish.
Is this like that Kraken legend of Davy Jones's Locker where like the ship actually sinks to the bottom of the ocean
Okay, now that makes some sense. Fish.
and then like
people,
comes up when like it
pilot-
needs to or is triggered to? Like did
But,
we sail
there's
into
something in
demon
the
ship
water
waters?
causing the illusion. Maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not-
we're stopped, right? Like we're not moving.
Yeah, you can't move at all. There's no wind.
If I was to jump in the water and be underwater, do you think I'd be able to see, like, get a clear picture of? I do have dark vision up to 120 feet.
Because the mist
to
doesn't
find out.
penetrate in the water, yes. But above water, there's mist which is blocking your dark vision. So
I'm jumping in the water. Yeah.
you're actually more blind above water than below. Okay.
Kinda
If you're
holding
hopping
back
in-
for a second, how about
I recommend
something-
you taking off any armor, and then I'll give you guidance as well.
I'd also
No time
like
to take
tie
off
a
water.
rope
I'll just have to
around you.
cast fly on myself.
What's up,
Oh,
Mushroom?
Never mind. I was about to say, I'm gonna put a rope around you so I can pull you back up, but if you're gonna have a flying speed, never mind.
Yeah, he does have a flying speed. I have special rules that might actually help with this if we need it. I have a whole binder set up for nautical stuff. In it, I also have an adventure storm rack, which is a advanced D&D adventure, mastering the perils of wind and wave. Very exciting. Anyway. What do I do with it? Okay, so swimming is, what is it, half your walking speed? if you want to move.
I think it is half. It's not great.
And there's no current, so it's not like it's going to slow you down anymore. Now, I'd say, like, the water is going to obscure your vision somewhat. So, like, you probably get, like, 80% of the vision you would on a clear day in these conditions. It's also dark, but you have the dark vision, which goes up to, what is it, 120 feet?
120 feet.
Okay.
I think it's actually double sight.
Right. I know, yours is, like, some sort of a special one.
It's like this super dark, yeah, it's...
Alright,
even magical darkness I see through.
Why don't you give me a medium perception check? I learned from someone online recently that it's better to be somewhat honest on this sort of stuff and clear about it. And I kind of like telling you the difficulty of the check anyway. If that if that detracts from the game, let me know. 25.
I gave you guidance if you wanted that a D4 as well.
Why not?
Ooh.
27.
27. About 10 feet below the surface, and what is now maybe about 80 feet away from you, because it has still been getting closer. It's been actually making a circle. It was going the opposite direction that you were pointed, and it's now kind of like making a U-turn to come. It almost looks like it's going to come alongside you. You see 5 large oblong shapes. One of them moves, and it looks like a giant head with a forked tongue slithering out of it, along with an additional head that pokes up out of the surface.
Would demonic whales be an accurate description of what I'm seeing?
In this light, and with these visibility conditions, that would be a great guess for what you're seeing.
I shoot back up out of the water, swim my full speed up, and then immediately fly back to the boat. And go, evil demonic whales! It's evil demonic whales. They're circling. I think they're gonna bash us. They're huge. We got to get out of here. This is not good. It's not a ghost. It's not ghost ships. It's evil demonic whales.
No,
I've heard about these. They're called orcas.
No, those are just...
Or cacas. Or
Those are just
cocos.
angry...
Or cuckoos.
Those are just
Something
angry...
like that. Or
Angry dolphins.
Oreo fish.
Yes, those are just angry, monochromic dolphins.
Seawolves.
Okay,
Apparently there are some supernatural...
what do you suggest we do, says the first mate. So the captain is still below deck.
Apparently run. So
Run would be good. I would recommend run if we can do that.
We don't
Oars,
have any
perhaps.
rudders though.
There is no wind.
Do we have oars?
We do have
We have
oars.
oars.
We have oars. Good thinking, man. And he shouts aloud to the men on board to go down below deck. And then you hear him down below deck. Who is the crew member who would be in charge of the rowers? I don't know what that crew member would be called. Do you guys know?
The boatswain, maybe?
Bosun?
the oar man.
That makes bosun makes sense. That's kind of like the XO in modern naval terms, right? The executive officer.
The XO.
He's the ship's officer in charge of equipment and crew, so I could see him organizing it, and then they probably just have like somebody else who would like shout out the like cadence. But
apparently,
it's probably
my ship with everything on it that I've written down. It actually has an oar master on it. So there we go. He's oar master. I really thought it was
oar man.
Oar man.
pretty close.
Oh man!
His name is now
The night
canon.
Fight throughout the night.
George. George is his name. That's canon now.
George the Oarman.
George the Oarman. You hear, heave! Put your backs into it, men! The ship slowly starts to move forward. A little bit kind of at an angle because it's missing that rudder, but they don't care at all. They're just trying to move at this point.
How does the crew seem down there? Are they focused?
Well, you see, there's someone up here that shouts down to them.
There's numerous ones down there that seem to be in a spectrum of mild to severe panic. Some of them are genuinely like shaking, quivering. A few of them just have like a chilly sweat on their brow. But there are definitely several men down there that are terrified.
I'm going to go ahead and give them a little pep talk and just kind of tell them listen, boys, it's not the evil spirits that you thought it was. This is just some kind of animal or monster. We've been up against that before. Put your backs into it, and we'll get out of here, just safe and sound. And I'll cast Calm Emotion.
Do it.
Each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point, and I'll just make it so it can affect the most amount of people. Must make charisma saving throws. Can choose to fail the saving throw if they wish. I can suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened.
Oh, so you're gonna go for charming?
Well, I'm gonna try and just make it so they're less afraid. I'm just calming them down.
I think.
Do we have anything?
Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, no, I'm good.
You said I have the opportunity to have the targets fail the charisma check if they want, so that they don't resist.
Right.
Okay, that happens. We'll go with they're receptive to your attempts. There's one or two of them that take a moment to catch on, because they're definitely like the most afraid. Probably like your lily-livered coward type that are like that. You know, they really were just in it for the money. They were not prepared for any actual adventure.
Right.
Mushroom looks at the sails. So do any of you magic types have any, like, call forth the winds or something?
Unfortunately, no.
I knew I should
I have no.
hired that kineticist. Having a walking
Question
gate.
though: do we have any harpoons or things designed to attack creatures under the water? I'm assuming we might.
As the quartermaster, I should...
Oh! I totally forgot. This is important, and it happened last week, so you would have no idea. Yes. So first of all, there are like four ballistae on the top. But in addition, on the second deck, so not the very bottom, but the middle one, there is an object that's covered by a big sheet that Valmira actually discovered, even though they were trying to keep it under wraps and keep it secret.
Did you read it?
And as all of this is going on, the first mate and the captain sort of just they're talking. The captain gives him an order. He goes over and he grabs a couple men. They pull the sheet off, and you find two cast iron cannons that are sitting there that have not been loaded, and there are barrels of gunpowder and shot next to it.
That looks like a giant version of my pistol. I just start waving my gun around.
Stop it! I know that Valmira, even though I'm not at the computer, is like pouncing on top of him and holding his hand out, like, stop it.
Captain, I don't know if you don't know this, but cannons don't really work against things underwater. Muzzrin says as he looks down.
Also, Captain, I'm just curious with all of this kept a secret, like, I mean, I know I'm an adventurer and stuff, but like, where are you headed? Like, I'm a soldier and I'm not this strapped.
He's not all that interested in answering your question, but he says the places we will be going are quite dangerous, and frankly, I want some more protection. And it's not really my order; it's the order of the prince. So don't question it too much.
Very well.
Oh, okay.
I still don't know how Grape Shot is going to help us deal with creatures underwater.
Can you guys see that handout?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yes. Okay, question. The thing. So I've been playing with this tiny cannon I got here.
On the ground?
Yeah, pointed at the ground now. And I know that it takes a powder that explodes like magic when you put it in there and you pull the thing. I'm assuming you have a lot of that if you have cannons. Can we do something with that? Because I can get above them, I can fly over them and then like drop heavy things or sharp things, or preferably sharp heavy things. Also, I'm not that strong. Just throwing that, like, I'm not, I'm gonna like do like I'm 3 feet tall. Like, like we are limited by what I can carry. I can cast fly on another person, and they can do it.
Can I roll an insight check to see if Valmira, much like me, would know that I think gunpowder does work underwater. Does it not?
For sure does not.
It does.
For sure does not.
Okay, I thought that's how like the start of the idea in the Revolutionary War of the submarine came about.
That was. It was once they developed like new bullets with like casings, because it's self-contained. You can fire bullets underwater, but back when the musket was going on, like you couldn't shoot a wet musket.
Okay, never mind then.
It's a good thing to know.
Most likely,
Fun history fact, guys.
Most likely, what we're gonna have to do is wait for them to come to us if we want to hurt them. Because you flying over them is, well, you have scrawny arms and you can't do much.
So you guys are so calmly discussing what's about to happen, you hear blood-curdling yell from top deck, and a splash in the water outside.
Thank you.
Then you hear a thump, and then a crunch, and then another splash.
I'm gonna run up immediately and see what's going on. I'm already out of my through the door.
I'll also fly up there.
Headed that way.
And then you hear a salvo of. There's a bunch of guys are firing flintlocks into the water, and then a salvo of fire arrows. As the men are yelling, they have no real idea of what happened. The mist is still there. I'm guessing. Can you remind me how long Dispel Magic is? Is it a concentration up to like 10 minutes or something like that?
It's not. So it just dispelled the magical effect when it.
So it's permanent?
Yeah, that was just that.
Until they reapply the effect. The effect.
Okay. That's an important detail. I'm gonna say that like the dispel worked for a while there, and then it wore off for one reason or another that's kind of unclear to you. It's such that the ship is back, and it is shrouded in mist again, and it is now right next to you.
Don't shoot at the ship. Shoot underneath the ship. The ship's not real. It's the demon whales underneath the ship. Now that I say that, that's not less scary.
Can I there's not a leadership check in this one. Dang it. To get everyone to shoot under the water.
Yeah, can I make a persuasion check to convince everybody that I am right and I know what I'm talking about?
That works, yeah.
Could I argue advantage since I got us out of the encounter with the last one?
Are you suggesting that they're kind of impressed with your ability, and so that
yes, yeah, I appear to know what I'm doing.
That sounds good to me.
Sweet. Very good because I rolled terribly. So that will be a 24 to convince them that the ship is not real and that the real threat is underneath the water at the bottom of the ship. Shoot there.
You convince half of them. The other half are not believing that.
I will lead by example and start casting Eldritch Blast into the water. I know I saw how big they were, and I saw about where the mist and the illusion was on top of them. So I probably am fighting at disadvantage here, but I'm shooting into the pod of demon whales.
Okay. What kind of is that one of those psychic damage spells?
Force damage.
Force damage. Okay. Just double checking to make sure that I do the right thing here. Yeah, it looks good. How much? I'm gonna roll that you hit because reasons. How much damage would you do if you hit though?
Almost did max damage. 7 for the first. 6 for the next. I think I'm averaging 8 damage a shot. I think my damage average is 8 a shot. And I can do 2 a turn.
Okay. So you're saying you did, 16 damage? How much did you actually do? Okay, 16?
I actually did, 13 damage.
Okay. I had just missed what you had said. So, 13 damage. Your first Eldritch Blast passes through the visage of the ghost ship, which then subsequently fades away into the distance. All of the skeletal crew, which had become just visible to you, now fade out of existence, along with their mysterious, ramshackle, kind of like Davy Jones, Flying Dutchman-like looking ship. It disappears into thin air, and the mist evaporates around you for a 50-foot sphere as 5 snake-like reptilian heads on long necks burst out of the water, intertwining, moving back and forth in a scissor action. Your first shot has impacted the main body of the creature. One of the heads pulls back in pain and opens its mouth, hissing at you loudly, spitting reptilian saliva all over you and emitting a ghastly smell out of its mouth. The second shot also likewise hits the body, causing a similar reaction from a second of the 5 heads. It completely surfaces, and you... Let's have a... Oh, what would you do? What kind of check do you guys think it would be to determine what kind of monster this is? It should be pretty easy to figure out. Insight? This seems reasonable. Or nature, maybe?
Or
Yeah,
nature or history.
Okay, I'll do one of those three. Insight, nature, or history, whichever you prefer. If you meet the
I'm gonna
DC.
use insight.
17 insight check.
Well,
Okay.
Can I argue for survival? No.
I think it's just disconnected enough.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I agree.
I mean, like, maybe if we were like, I mean, if we are being pursued by this, but never mind. Like, if we saw tracks of one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just curious if that was.
Oh, just barely missed there, Zorn. Did Valmira go as well?
Okay, what am I gonna do? Let's do, nature. My insight is trash.
Okay.
13?
Yes. Everybody except for Zorn knows exactly what this is. Zorn thinks it's a sea serpent. The rest of you recognize this as a hydra.
Oh no!
why is there a Hydra here, and how can it cast illusions? Actually, don't answer that. Let's just kill it.
Kill it with fire. Kill it with fire.
What's more important, understanding it or surviving? You can understand it later if you survive.
I promise you,
Shoot
I will
first,
help
ask
you
questions later.
drag pieces up if you want to look at them afterwards. Let's kill it.
Speaking
Right,
of
so
which,
if I just shoot its heads, does that kill it, or does it grow another head because it's a Hydra?
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter how you kill a snake, it dies.
No, don't you know the thing about Hydras?
What?
Don't
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
a Hydra
It's
grows
definitely a
two
Hydra,
heads
my
every
guy.
time you cut one off. Every time, it's either one or two heads. Every time you cut one off, it either regrows their head or multiplies their head.
We are
So attack the body.
the most
Attack the
weirdly
body.
calm group ever. who's
Yeah.
In
Right.
family situations.
okay, everybody needs to make a check to make sure that they're not frightened. So we're gonna do. What are we gonna do? I forget what that would
Charisma
be.
saving?
I think that's
Wisdom
usually
saving?
I think that's usually a
Oh,
wisdom.
I
Constitution.
think it's a wisdom save.
I'm really
Okay.
hoping it's a wisdom save.
Gedlin, it looks like has advantage against being frightened, so he gets to roll twice.
What is the black dot?
I
make
also
for
have
me?
advantage on that.
Oh, I
That means
do
you-
too. Does that mean I can't be frightened? I have advantage against that.
It means
Oh.
you get a roll twice. I think it's a halfling treat.
Oh, okay.
The black dot means you're proficient in it. It just means that you have a bigger number, and then
15 is 20.
All right, let me know your highest roll. Musrim
Okay.
just gets one roll.
Yeah,
Got
21.
16.
16. I'm gonna have your
I got
opponent
22.
roll. Oops. My die just went all the way across the room almost. Okay. Who beats a 13?
22.
I got 21.
Okay, those of
And
you
I'm 13.
Those of you who beat 13 are not frightened. Anyone else is frightened? Who is frightened?
Is it meet or exceed or just exceed?
Exceed
Beats it,
13,
beats
I think.
Meets it, beats it. Generally with saves.
Okay, meets it, beats it. We'll do that. That's an easy
Wait.
way to remember.
Then I am not afraid by the skin of my teeth.
Did anyone fail?
Nope.
I don't
That would be a no. Okay, well, all right. Well,
Make it till you make it, Gledwin.
don't
Yeah,
count on
pat
that
on the
being
back.
permanent. But so far, so good.
Together, men.
I'm gonna
just the crew that's not affected by common emotions.
I'm gonna do a best of 3 for your crewmates to see if they're frightened. And they get 1 natural 20 and 2 10s, so they unfortunately are frightened.
That tracks.
Disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. When in line of sight of source, can't willingly move closer to the source of fear. Okay, so all of the crew that are on the deck are the only crew that are on the deck, and they cannot move any closer. You are not going to get any reinforcements from down below.
Alrighty.
We'll start with, I guess, I like my modified initiative where you guys can choose where you want to be, and then the monster goes after you. It works really well for simple battles like this, I think. So you can choose where you want to go in this, and then the crew will go at some point.
Alright, hold on. I forgot to get it to roll 20.
I'll go,
I think I know what I want to do, because like if I'm looking, I'll go first. If I'm looking down at, am I looking down at this beast?
I do.
You're more like looking up at it because it's towering above you.
Oh shoot. Okay. Hold on. Oh, I see it now. Okay, I'm on the map. And I'm back here. Okay.
I'm gonna keep targeting its body and encourage others to do that as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. Or like, I want to do something. I'm gonna go for one of the heads in hopes that like it opens up a spot for the body. You know what I mean? Like if it rears back and exposes a piece of its body.
Do it, Velmira.
Yeah, I can hit one of the heads without killing it. I'll just, maim it in one of the heads.
Start off the initiative roll, or the initiative
right.
turn with Velmira. Coming in hot.
Alright, but I got the head, guys. I got the middle head. This one
Okay,
right here.
I'll rule that there is one close enough on the ship that you can melee attack it. Because this image is not really not all that accurate. It was the best one I could find. Should probably move it a tiny bit closer.
Okay.
There we go.
This is not that.
I suppose I could draw the other heads.
Going to channel divinity sacred weapon. This means that as an action you can endure a weapon with positive energy for 1 minute, which is 10 rounds, right? Before I keep my tallies.
Yes.
You choose add 3 to attack roll, and emits bright light for 20 feet and dim light for 20 feet beyond that. Okay. So, battle axe. That. Aha! 23 is 26 to hit.
That hits. Absolutely hits.
10 damage. That's all I'm gonna do for that because I don't want to take.
Okay, and you said you were gonna go for like this one here?
The middle one, yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. I gotta figure out a way to keep track of that. Here. We're gonna call that one number 3. That's how I'm gonna remember. And you do 10 damage to it.
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything else you do on your turn?
Sorry, I don't think I have very much for bonus action, so I kind of forget about it. Yep, that's it.
Okay. Alright, who's next?
Gedlin is going. What?
Sorry, just to clarify, like we're all gonna go, then the monster's gonna go.
That. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he does not have lair actions.
Okay. Let me do emboldening bond first to get you guys buffed up before anybody else starts swinging.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Velmira, Mozerin, and myself. Nope, I gotta give it to Gedlin because he's going right now. So Gedlin, Mozerin, and myself. You get to add a D4 to a roll once per turn. Sorry, Velmira, I
Once
changed my
per
mind.
turn.
Once per turn for an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. So you get to choose which one to use it for.
Okay.
And I get that too?
I changed my mind, so sorry to confuse you. I'm going to
Okay.
give it to Gedlin because he's going.
That makes sense.
Since you
Is that
already
running
went.
now? All right, cool. All right.
Okay.
So that'll be my action, and then I think I have a bonus action. Where's my bonus action? I'll just end my turn there.
Okay. Just double checking
Alrighty.
something. Who's next?
Gedlin's happy to go next. He's got a little bit of a plan. Gedlin is going to fly up and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. In like a diagonal, I don't know how you do geometry. I want to try to get up and behind, and so at least like draw one of the head's attention away from the boat. Even if I just go like,
You're in flight for this, right?
yes, I am still flying, but I want to make sure I'm staying out of striking range. And I want to start I'm going to curse it. I'm going to curse it with my Hexblade curse. I curse you, destroyer of joy. And then I'm going to attack it with Eldritch Blast again. Twice.
Are you targeting any specific head or the body?
The body, specifically the body. Also, that is a critical hit. Because when I crit on a 19 or a 20 against cursed targets.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
let me roll 2 points of damage for that. 6 plus 3 is 9, and 11 plus 3 is 14. 23 points of damage for the first shot.
Wow.
Pachow.
Natural 1, so I'm going to re-roll that. For a 17. I'll take it. Regular damage. 12 plus 3 is 15 points of damage.
Another 15. Okay. Dang.
Sonic, I stabbed my shirt! Sonic, I stabbed my shirt! Oh god!
Okay, wow, that's impressive. I don't know how to describe the levels of discomfort this Hydra is going through as it reacts in a violent manner, swaying its heads back and forth as it hisses and spits at you. That's all.
So I guess it's my turn then.
Yep.
So, Mushroom kind of, upon hearing that things were underwater, kind of moved to the ballista here. What is this crew member doing at the ballista?
He is currently not operating it because it cannot turn enough to actually hit that Hydra.
Really?
Really.
Unfortunate.
Just squashed his dreams.
Something good to hide behind. It provides good cover, I'm sure.
He kind of goes to the front end here. Can he see the captain at all, or the first mate?
I don't have them on the ship, but on the deck, but they should be. I guess I'll just like make this guy with the yellow pip the first mate. For some reason, the first mate is way more active around this place than the captain is, so that'll be him.
That sounds about right.
I think that sounds pretty normal to me.
Yeah.
For some good reason.
Mushroom, I don't want to go beyond my full movement distance, so
Okay.
one kind of comes up here. Those cannons, how set up are they?
There's portholes on the second floor. They just need to be rolled into position.
Okay.
It would take about 3 men. We could do it in a matter of seconds. Though, point being, it's just like really heavy, so you need multiple guys or one really, really, really strong guy. But you could definitely move it into place and fire it within a second turn. So you could move it in one turn and then fire it in the next. Well, actually, what does that handout say about the about reloading?
I think I got rid of it.
It's an action to reload,
Oh, cannon.
action to aim, action to load, action
Yeah.
to fire.
Okay, so within 3 turns you could fire it.
Or if you have
Well,
like
I
3
have-
of the Oarmen do it.
There you go.
I also have, as a monk, 2 attack actions. But I think that's...
I
action
think
of
that would be
the-
reasonable.
Artillery monk. He's super fast at loading and firing artillery.
He can aim and fire at the same time.
I wish we were playing Pathfinder 2e because there's an entire archetype for that.
Right.
Oh.
For Christmas, the party is going to get you a tactical trebuchet that you can carry on your back.
There's actually a backpack ballista in 2e.
I've seen pictures of like orcs with backpack ballista in like
That's great.
2e fan art, and it looks dope. Perfect for barbarian hordes.
You know what? I would let you build one of those, but there would be a cost, both financial and skill related and material.
Yeah.
But
Again,
you could make one if you wanted.
I also wish I was playing a kineticist because then I could just be throwing literal fire at it. But what else can I do? Is like the gratings here like open at all? Is there kind of like a opening to the second?
It's more like it's more like just a what would you call that?
Great.
It's just a grate. I mean, you can't really go through it. It's so that there can be some level of communication between down below and up top, I guess.
Let's see.
And sunlight can go through. Kind of sucks when it rains, though.
Okay. Muslim will use a key point to cast or to use the Step of the Wind bonus action.
Oh, that one.
This allows me to use the take the disengage or dash action as a bonus action on my turn. My jump distance is doubled for this turn. So I would like to basically use that to get down to the second deck in one foul swoop and begin helping aim and load the cannon.
And you're going to use the 2 actions to load.
I
I think you could push and load if you wanted to with 2 actions.
Okay. I will push and load and then fire on my next turn.
On your next turn.
Yeah.
I think that sounds kosher. That sounds fine to me.
So do you want me to give a roll to move it, or
Yes, strength roll, please. Are you gonna get help from other crew members? Because I think you would.
I kind of begin calling all over. I kind of like, as I'm dashing with a strange amount of speed for a dwarf, I grab 2 other
Okay.
Lady Dwarf.
Listen,
I
dwarves
gotta-
are fast to sprint, okay.
Gotta ask, just for the sake of being consistent.
I got it, Zach.
I feel like specific instructions is really an action, but free action would be just non-specific communication. You could probably use your action for persuasion check to get 3 guys to move it for you, and then use your second action to reload it. Just because trying to use a free action to give specific instructions to help you move it, it's going to use an action, which will eat up one of those 2. I think that's reasonable, right?
It fully is. Can I be sarcastic in argument though?
Sure.
He runs downstairs, says, "Hey, you, come help me," and starts pushing a cannon, and that's an action.
That's a good point. That's not exactly like specific instructions. It's more like a quick aside. Oh, go with what you were going to do there. I like that. That works. That seems reasonable. It's good devil's advocate there.
Yeah, I was just gonna have 2 other guys help me push the thing and then load it.
Okay.
I'm not giving any specific instructions. I'm just bringing them and being like, help me move this. Okay, so I will give an athletics check. If I'm being helped, is that an advantage?
It'd be more like my favorite way of DMing, which is have a series of 3 checks, and best of 3 is a success, or not best of 3. What am I trying to say? And if at least 2 out of the 3 succeed, then you're good. But if 2 out of the 3 fail, you're not, and so there's a DC to move it, which is easy. So you would just roll a strength check, and 2 of the crew members would roll a strength check.
Okay, I'll roll a strength check.
So don't forget, you've got my emboldening bond, so you can add a
D4.
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you get here? 13?
13, yeah. I can't roll above 10.
So I have some unfortunate news for you. You passed, but the other guy you definitely needed to pass with you failed by 1, so you aren't able to move it that action.
Okay. I'm gonna give it another go. See if that works.
Yeah, give it another try.
18.
You redouble your efforts, and the cannon glides across the floor and straight into a porthole, which just happens to be kind of below a little bit the kind of chest area of this massive beast as it's rearing out of the water.
Keep the thing in place. We'll shoot it. I say from the second deck.
Okay. Alright, I need everyone to succeed a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened again. Well, I guess none of you did become frightened.
16.
Okay, you pass. Gedlin.
14. Oh, I get to use my thing. I get to add a D4. I just need to roll a 2 or better. Come on. You got this. 3! I pass! I want to say this is the second wisdom saving throw I've rolled a 1 on in a row. But because I'm a halfling, I get to roll again.
Velmira, add your D4, Velmira. I think she gets a D4, right?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no?
No, I don't, because Ed came after he did all that.
Okay.
I made it confusing. Velmira is the only one who doesn't get it.
Oh, I see.
I rolled a 12
I
and
do
used
get-
my D4. And
But
got
I
a
do get
14.
to add a
Gotcha.
I do get to add a 3, so I get 13.
Oh, wait, we also have advantage on Frighten. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got a natural 20. I'm good.
23.
Wait, Gedlin, I thought you already used your advantage.
No, that was. I forgot that I also have an advantage against being frightened. No, I didn't use my advantage. I used my halfling never roll a 1 magic.
Ah. Okay, so Valmira. Valmira's the only
I
one
did
who's
use my
frightened.
advantage. And,
Don't worry, Bill.
wait.
Mushroom.
Damn. You
Passed,
know
okay.
that I get a +3 on save, so that 10 is a 13.
Unfortunately, it's still short of the DC.
Dang. Okay. I just wanted to make sure you heard that.
Yeah, no problem. You get to
I gotta ask, right?
you get to repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn if you want. It only lasts for 1 minute. So
Liz, are you rolling in D&D Beyond?
I am.
yeah, she is.
If you click the right button, it'll add the number for you. You're
I
not
know,
double adding, are you?
Oh, okay. So I have to hold down with Q.
I don't think she did.
Doing this weird thing
Okay,
because my
just-
computer's
Oh, she has a 5 plus
Well, I
5.
did.
Because so there's +3 on the save and a +2 on the proficient. No, she didn't.
That should be
No,
added
here's
in. If
what I
you've
did.
got it.
I didn't figure out because my computer was being slow how the advantage thing didn't work. So I rolled a 4, and that was 9 with the 5, and then I rolled a 5, so I just added the 3 to the higher.
Yeah, you did it right.
But
You
a
did it
third-
correctly.
But yeah,
You're good.
I mean,
Okay.
Quite honestly,
I just went the wrong way about it.
quite honestly, for Mushroom, it doesn't matter because one of my actions as a monk is Stillness of Mind, which means I can take an action to end the effect of Charmed or Frightened.
Yeah, that will take an action from you, though. But
True, I still pass either way, so
yeah.
continue.
Yeah.
Okay. In addition to the frightful presence, the Hydra rears up and smashes down on the top deck with 3 of its 5 heads, causing the ship to rock wildly out of control and throw several people up into the water. Up into the air. Nobody falls into the water, though. Do a dexterity saving throw. If you pass, you will only take 0 damage.
As I am up in the air, am I excluded from this?
No. That's a good question. Where are you located? No, because you're right where it would have smacked its head down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say it
But I'm
was
like
smacking
60
down.
feet in the air. I'm 60 feet in the air.
Oh, I guess I missed that detail. Then you are exempt.
Do I have to do it while I'm on the second deck?
Yes, because the ship was hit and you were tossed up towards the ceiling of the ship. Which would be
that's
the
a natural 1.
Cool. Okay, so we'll ignore Gedlin's roll. Velmira passes. Zoran passes. Mushroom crit fails. So you are going
Hold
to...
on. I want to see something.
I will roll the damage. Hang on while I get enough dice to kill you. That's my favorite thing to say. It's always going to be my favorite.
I love how so nonchalantly you say it too. It's not intimidating at all. And what you just said, you're like, wait. Oh yeah, don't worry. Oh wait, you son of a gun.
By the way,
It's
Dan.
okay, wait, put your dice.
By the way, Dan.
Yeah?
As a monk, I have evasion. Whenever I'm
Yeah.
subject to a dex saving throw to avoid damage, basically I take either no damage or half damage if it's half damage, or half damage if it's full damage.
Okay. You're still going to take 12 bludgeoning damage and be knocked prone. You would have taken 24.
Meh.
Meh.
Still sounds like a win, guys.
Yeah, that's alright.
So yeah, you have to use half of your movement speed to get back up to then you operate the cannon. But you're alive.
It's not that big of a deal for me.
I know it's not.
Oh, okay.
Let me check and make sure I'm not missing anything here. Oops, wrong tab. I have way too many things open. Yeah, that's all that happens. It is back to the top of the initiative, Valmira.
All right, let me look at this map again.
Can we mix it up again, or do we gotta stay in order?
Oh, you can change order if you want. I don't mind.
Do I have to do anything different because I'm frightened?
Disadvantage on your attacks
That's-
and checks.
So that's why don't you let me go first?
Okay.
Like seeing you be frightened, I would put me into motion, and I'm gonna run over to you. You're in range, right? Not really. I'm gonna run over to you and cast Heroism.
Ooh.
So you're imbued with bravery until the spell ends. So you get this for a minute.
Okay.
Until the spell ends, the creature is immune to being frightened and gains temporary hit points equal to my spellcasting ability modifier at the start of each of its turns. So
The start of each of its turns.
Yeah, so my spellcasting modifier is +4. So you get +4 temporary hit points, and you're immune to being frightened, which I would think would cancel out the frightened
Holy
condition.
crap! Thank you. And then temporary hit points. Okay, so
You can put those in right underneath where it says temp in your thing. You just type it right
yeah.
in.
Oh.
Okay, cool. So I could use
I was
those up
wondering-
like a soak in Star Wars.
Yes.
Okay,
Those will
cool.
go first
Thank
before
you.
it hits your current, and then you'll get that at the start of each turn. And then I'm going to turn skyways and yell up at Geldin and yell at him, "You have to stay within 30 feet of me or you don't get your D4 to add." Because I didn't realize you were so far in the air.
Oh, okay.
Just come down half.
They can take it down about halfway there, bud.
Speaking in meta terms in character.
Yeah.
I
You're
like
outside
it.
of the effect.
Come back, it's a good area
If
of
you were a
effect.
D&D character, I would say you should do this.
Stay close so you're not in the magic help zone.
Tell your player to move you down.
Come back before you do anything else. I think that's where my turn ends.
Very good.
I assume Muzrum is still in the space because despite his avatar being way off to the left, I think he's just directly below us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should really be
Yeah.
like kind of right here.
Okay, cool.
Mozrum, you want to go next and try to get this cannon in play because that's going to be a game changer.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, getting up from prone is just a movement action, right?
Your movement
Yeah.
speed.
Half your
Yeah.
movement.
Okay. Well, yeah, I just like simply creep back up. Okay.
You don't do a ninja like
No,
from
he
your
just
back like kick up thing.
like, he's just made upright. He doesn't stand. He's just made upright.
Oh my goodness.
You're a dwarf, so you're kind of a square, so you just go from one side to the next.
Yes. Okay, you two, help me load this. Then we fire it at the multi-headed snake dog thing.
Snake dog.
It's all in all fours. It's a snake dog. So
Whatever
I
you say,
use
man.
my two action attack to load and then fire the cannon.
All right, let's see. Roll to attack.
Okay, what do I add to a d20 for that?
Here you go. +6 to hit.
Okay.
Dang, it's got 600 to 2,400 feet in range. Wow.
So 15.
Let's see. Oh, just barely hit.
Okay, so that is 8d10 for damage, right?
I feel like that's the most
Yep.
dice any of my players have rolled in one go. 8d10.
37 bludgeoning damage to the body.
All right.
Yeah. How do you do a custom roll?
Down on the side.
So there's a little red circle with a d20 in it. You press
got
that, and then press the amount times for the amount of dice you want to use.
Okay, let's
Got it,
see
got
if
it.
I have a sound effect for an in pain and very angry Hydra.
Why do I keep getting freaking animated? I don't watch.
I like it.
It works.
Because anime is good.
Well, we'll combine it with the dragon as well.
All right, I'm gonna fire off. Or sorry, Muslim, is that your whole turn?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
In that case, I'm going to fly back down to be near enough my good friend Zorn to receive his magic benefits. I'm going to fire off like 2 energy bolts.
Again at the
2
body.
Eldritch Blast. Again at the body.
14 misses.
14 misses. I'm going to use my D4 then. Does an 18 hit?
18 hits.
Nice. 10 points of damage for the first one. I'm assuming an 11 doesn't hit.
Correct.
All right, so the second one misses, but the first one hits him for 11 points of damage. Oh no, sorry. 10 points of damage.
Okay. All right. Did you do anything else with your turn?
No, I want to stay in range of Zorn, so I'm not gonna try to fly behind it like was my plan.
Okay. Copy that.
I mean, you could do it, you just can't use the D4.
I think that brings
Yeah,
us
but
to
the D4 is very
Velmira.
useful.
I think Velmira's the last one before the crew, which they have been doing stuff. It's just they've been unsuccessful the last turn.
So I forgot. I lost track. Does anyone cure wounds?
I've got healing magic up the wazoo.
Okay, cool. If not, okay. Or anyone in the crew, can I give cure wounds to them? I'm just curious because I was looking through my stuff.
I'm hurt.
It's been surprisingly
I'm below
unnecessary.
you, so don't worry about me.
Okay, cool. The problem is getting in close enough range. You know what? I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to go for heroin and jump onto. I want to somehow cut in between the necks. How far out is that? I've dashed up to the front. Hold on, I know I can get the ruler out.
That's like here would be like 20 feet. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't think I could jump that far.
It is a deceptively large map.
It is.
Launch myself 20 feet out. I don't think I could.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this map was not intended to do any of this sort of stuff. This is the pirate ship from the Tomb of Annihilation pack.
Yeah.
I've used it for a lot of things it wasn't intended for.
Okay, if I'm near one of the heads, am I close enough to like jump on top of one? Like, is it close enough to me
With a
where I can like
difficult
grab on?
with a difficult athletics check, you could get onto one of them, but then you wouldn't be able to attack unless you have a second action.
That's fine. I have 2 attacks, but not actions. So, and I get that D4 from the bravery or heroism, right?
Okay.
No.
Now remember you. Oh wait, you're not frightened
I don't.
anymore. He removed that. That's right.
You lost frightened and you got health points. You don't get a additional die yet.
Oh, okay, cool. So I have to take disadvantage on the.
No, you're not frightened anymore, so you don't need disadvantage. So you don't get disadvantage.
Okay,
Yeah,
I thought
just
he said
straight
it was
roll.
a hard athletics check. Okay.
That just means high DC. Usually.
19.
That is successful. Which head do you climb onto? I'm guessing the one next to you.
I think probably the one I'm standing right next to. So let me get me pointer. This one.
Like that?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I guess that would be one of my whole actions, and I don't really have bonus
You're
actions.
holding
I'm
on for
building
dear
up to
life
something.
as you're on top
I'm
of a
building
giant
up to
snake.
something, right.
This is going to be incredible. Okay.
Next, I'm gonna try and ride the neck down to the body, and we'll see how that works. That's for later. That's future Valmira's problem.
After that happens, you hear a yell from the crew, and 7 shafts that are on fire impact the Hydra on the kind of in this like upper chest area, and he takes X number of damage, which I can't tell you.
Dang.
Living.
The Hydra rears up and smacks the ocean with its tail. At the same time, that makes it's his turn now. So you're going to have to do the DC 16 Wisdom saving throw again, all of you.
Valmira is immune, so no.
Okay, so she's fine.
15. But
Mushroom is frightened. Gedlin's fine. And Zoran's fine. Okay.
I'm not even gonna roll my advantage.
So Valmira is fine. Zoran's fine. Gedlin's fine. Mushroom is frightened. Okay. The creature, after it rears up, it comes smacking down onto the ship and takes a big bite out of the side with 3 of its heads. Now, how do I want to do this? 2 and 3. So he's not attacking you this time. He's attacking the ship. 2 of which are successful, 1 of which is a critical fail. The critical fail, he smacks his head against the gunnel, kind of like actually knocking it out a little bit, and that one head droops down and falls into the water motionless, leaving it with 4 heads up and about. I should just like make this one invisible. It just knocked its one of them just knocked himself out.
No, I never
I like this.
understood about multi-headed beings. Do all of their heads have the same personality, or are they different personalities?
One of them hears your comment
Shout that through
and
the.
lowers his head to the porthole and pokes his eye right up next to it and gives you an evil-looking smile and a hiss, and then rams its snout into the porthole. Doesn't do anything. That's just a little flavor text for you.
Nice.
Well, now I'm gonna shoot its face.
Maybe.
So, yeah.
One of
Maybe.
us always lies, and one of us always tells the truth. But which one?
Alright, rolling damage for the 2 that actually did hit. The ship, that is.
Galen's just gonna yell down, Muzarum, you focus on the weirdest things at the weirdest times.
Just trying to
And
make
you
things
say it with the
interesting.
weirdest inflection.
Why?
Okay, the 2 that actually made contact in the way that they meant to, instead of knocking themselves out, actually pull a big chunk of the ship off, leaving a hole just above Muzarum, and a... Not only is the top deck missing there, but the actual wall connecting it to the middle deck is just missing now. You have just a big chunk gone from the ship. And consequently, that's about as big as the hole would be. Consequently, the
Oh my God.
the ship now lists the other direction from the lack of weight. And that is the end of its turn.
On fire!
Its mouth got way bigger than its head.
Well, I mean, they kind of like just latched on and leveraged and just broke it off. So yeah, 2 of them, you know, they were working together. The power of friendship was at play here.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay.
We know how the power of friendship works out in these D&D and Star Wars games.
Yeah. Okay, so that comes back to us.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna help you out again. And I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run up to the edge of where that bite was, and do the Jurassic World where I just hold out my hand like Chris Pratt, and I go, "Oh, you don't want to do that." My actual action though will be we're gonna fill this out here, Dan. I kind of mentioned I read some stuff about my class being a little broken, and this is why. So
Okay.
tell me if you don't like this after this. I want to try it out and see how
Okay.
you feel about it.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Bless. That's gonna drop the heroism from you, Velmira. Liz, you lose that.
Okay.
But all 3 of you get Bless, so now you get a D4, and Gelden and Muzrin now have 2 D4s that they can use on their turn.
Oh wow.
That twerked beautifully.
Oh wow.
On
I mean, I think that's reasonable. That's a first
Yeah.
level enchantment.
Yeah. Well, and so what I read is like
Yeah.
because it stacks with my emboldening bond, the 2d4s means that's an average of +4. So, like the 2 hit at lower levels is higher than anybody's modifiers, and so that's why it's broken. But we're mid tier, so I'm thinking maybe it's not as. I promise not to do this too often.
It seems more fair because you guys are higher level and I'm throwing a bigger monster at you. So yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I promise not to do it too often, and if we don't like how this works out, I will ban it. But
I appreciate
okay,
that.
So that's a spell. I am trying to control a giant dinosaur with my palm, and I think that's my turn.
That was cool.
I want to shoot it. I'm gonna fire off 2 more energy bolts.
I'm just gonna go with the old fashioned shoot it. I love the sound
Everyone-
There's a
effects.
22 hit.
Yes.
13 points of damage for that one. Second one is a critical hit.
Yes, it is. Ooh, boy. Okay, let's see.
Oh
Do you
no,
have any
sorry.
strength?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh, not on a 19, it
It's
isn't.
a total of 19, not a natural 19. My bad.
Oh, I see that now, yeah.
So
You
that
have
was just a 19 to
improved
hit.
critical? I love improved critical.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that existed, because I'd never played a halfling.
Well, no, this is a
Or is it a warlock thing?
the warlock thing.
Oh, okay.
With my Hexblade Curse, I crit on a 19 or 20. So that's going to be another 12 points of damage, assuming that 19 hit.
Oh, it does hit. It did hit. Ooh. Okay.
All right. Muzzram, fire away, sir.
Okay,
Disadvantage due to being frightened.
so movement is an action, correct?
It's just movement.
It's
Movement's
its own
separate.
thing, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Don't
different in Pathfinder.
Yeah, I don't have 2 actions, and that sucks. Fine. Well, let's see, so... I have to roll this 2 times. So... I guess the 2 showed up first, so... 13 plus 6... that hits no matter what, right?
Yeah, was that an advantage, or was that because you have 2 actions? I'm trying to understand.
So basically, I take my attack action to reload it, and then attack. And then it was supposed to be at disadvantage, but because this is a custom roll, I rolled it twice. Or wait, do I have to... I think I have to take the, least of 2 actions, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's 2. So hopefully I get high on 2d4.
You get 2d4.
Oh my word. Okay, so that's 9
Yeah.
plus 6, right? For the cannon?
Yes. Yes.
You son of a gun! You just barely pass! Again!
That's 8d10.
8d10, baby.
39 damage.
Okay. How do you want to do this?
I'm just like, sitting on a barrel directing everyone. Okay. I douse my hands a little bit in alcohol and then snap my fingers at the wick, lighting the cannon.
Are you serious?
And then with
Classy move.
a roaring explosion, I assume I'm killing it.
Yeah! Yeah, that kills it. Do you want to explain how it dies?
I send a giant lead ball through its chest cavity out the other end.
Do I have to make any dexterity check to get off the head of one of these things?
Yes, actually, I'm going to roll that all of you except for Gedlin do, because the 5 head, well, actually just 4 now, because one of them's, like, in the water. It went unconscious, but it's dead now. They come crashing down on the deck, and so I need a dexterity saving throw from those of you who aren't flying or riding.
Oh, praise God! 18.
I don't think I've rolled below 16 tonight.
Dang. Lots of rolls tonight, though. That's good.
I'm pretty
Okay.
fire myself if I don't say so.
And I'm sorry,
you're
Dan, I
okay.
just realized that +3 on saving throws is already added into, and I've been accidentally adding plus, but I should not have.
Oh,
But I realize that now.
that's all
So
right.
it's just 18.
Muzzrum, what was your dex saving throw?
Dex saving throw for what?
To avoid getting hit by 4 heads that come crashing down on the ship,
I
and there's a
thought
hole above
I
your
thought he
head.
was underneath the deck.
There's a
that
big,
would be a 17.
there's a gaping hole above him now. Okay, you each
Okay.
manage to step away, and a little bit more of the side of the ship cracks off, well above the waterline. But your ship is a lot more worse for the wear than it was before this
Do we even
encounter.
have a ship anymore? I mean, we already got it fixed up, but like,
It's now listing to the left, drifting slightly sideways, spinning a little bit in the very, very minor current, and there is no wind at all.
that the ship is the leaky barrel.
Uh,
Does the
I would like
mist
to
at least start to
find the
dissipate?
captain.
What was that about the captain?
Oh, I want to find the captain and just be like, is this a typical journey? Or, like, are we running into dangerous megafauna
Right.
way more than normal?
Like, remember the deposit you asked to protect yourself? Can we get that back for our protection? I want my deposit back.
Uh,
I hop up
Yeah.
on a barrel and goes, "Who cares? Huzzah!"
in character, the captain says the creator of this universe just really badly wanted to do some fun nautical adventures. So there you go. But
Well,
It-
I can't say I'm an atheist. I'm a paladin. I almost made that joke. Well, no, I'm an atheist, so deposit. I can't because I'm a paladin. It literally doesn't make sense. Okay.
oh, do you guys want to take 5 real quick? I do have a little bit more tonight if you're up for it.
Yeah, I can go for 5.
Okay. Excellent. Let's do it.
Is the artificer artillerist from?
So that's directly in 5e. It's just a part of Tasha's Cauldron, so it came out. It's like a supplemental book, but it came out a few years ago.
I think 2E came out.
Tasha's Cauldron definitely predated 2E.
Yeah, I see 2020 maybe for Tasha's Cauldron. That could be
So earlier than
absolutely
that.
incorrect. That could be absolutely incorrect.
Second, May 28 or 2018.
Okay. I think we're all back. Is that correct?
Yas, queens.
All right.
2018 wins.
Always wanted to be queen. Okay. You are
Just as
roughly
long as we let it drag.
right about here, I'd say. On the map is where your charts man, I don't know what he would be called, navigator, there we go, Rigel the navigator, is saying that you're somewhere about there. And you guys are absolutely caught in the doldrums. There's no wind. You are sitting still for about 4 days in this completely still portion of the ocean. And
oars, right?
Yes, you do have oars. The captain has ordered that you be that the oarsmen propel you at a slow pace. He is concerned about the potential of getting lost and running out of rations if you were to push it too hard. A lot of discussion comes up during these doldrums as the men ask each other what are they going to do now that the ship is so damaged and that they're having such a hard time getting to their destination. Is the entire trip going to be this way? How many more sea monsters are they going to run into? There are really no answers to any of those questions, but it helps them pass the time. And after those 4 days of dealing with no wind and rowing slowly, seemingly indefinitely with no end in sight, the winds pick up again, a steady breeze pushing you to the south. This warms everybody's, hearts. Everybody is emboldened and encouraged by this, as the ship seems to be making headway once again. And within a day of that wind picking up, it has actually pushed you close enough that you can see just off to your east, you've almost passed it, a set of 2 islands. One slightly larger than the other.
I would like, while the men are discussing, are we going to keep getting attacked, I want to remind them that every one of these monster encounters is an amazing experience. And experience is the most valuable resource there is.
It's better than being paid. Certain employers would tell you
your experience.
Right. Certain employers would tell you that. Yes, certain ship captains would say that.
On the same front though, I would also be like trying to provide, whether it's here nor there, some information, like not information, but like therapy, essentially. I'm trying to invoke my god patron person. Trying to preach a little bit, I guess.
Oh yeah, to raise the spirits.
yeah, keep spirits up, and it's like, don't worry, like everything's gonna be all right. But I do it in a very like carefree, almost hippie kind of attitude. I think is what I'm trying to convey.
It's okay,
to you guys
man.
is-
Everything's gonna be just swell.
Yeah, everything is gonna
It's
be
groovy,
all right.
dude.
This downtime with no movement is giving me time to heal the people who did get wounded, and it's just giving everybody actually a little bit of a rest. That's all this is. There's a plan.
Right on, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, embrace the surfer dude.
Just a very carefree going on about the whole thing. Just very relaxed.
The lookout gets up into the ship and is
Get up in that shit,
peering off. Sorry, I meant to say crow's nest. I'm multitasking again. He gets up in that ship, you know, the one that you've been on the whole time. No, he gets up into the crow's nest and he peers off at the island and he gives you a description of it. It's a there's two of them. I think the right word would be kind of like a little archipelago. I'm not sure if I'm using that word correctly.
Yeah.
But it's a grouping
Or
of
two islands.
little islands. Most of them so meaningless and that they're not worth mentioning. But there is one that's very large that actually has timber growing on it. And there appears to be some form of a structure there too. And as he describes it, and you get a little bit closer, you're able to actually see this. And you obviously aren't on the land, but you can ignore that and just pretend you are on the ship.
Well, either way, we need to make landfall to at least hunt something. We're running out of rations.
Probably use the timber to repair. I mean, we have axes to crudely, perhaps even just repair some of the ship. We're gonna need lumber.
Correct. So I say
don't
I say we make
disagree,
How about we
but
go up
I
to?
do
How about we
have
go
an
up to
ominous
where it
feeling
looks
about
like
this.
there's the building where it looks like there's inhabitants.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely go knock
I
on the
mean-
door and ask, but
We should
That's
definitely
an
be
ancient
cautious.
interdimensional monolith to a demi-plane of unknown orders. Just saying.
That's where the jellyfish went.
it's, that's just a constant risk that we run. You know, like it's one of
Never
those things
tell
that like
me the
anything
odds.
could be that, but it's just the chances are so low we try not to think about it.
Or maybe the
Doesn't
chances are so high and
appear
everyone's
that
already-
way.
Oh, there's two Zorns on here.
I think you added one after I moved him off into the
They
water.
cloned themselves.
That's what happened. I was like, where did he go? Did I forget to put him on this map? Oops. All right.
You said we weren't there, so I. Anyway,
I appreciate the continual, like, really good role play going on here.
I am very concerned about this island, guys. That seems way too. Like, we're relatively out here. We got no other option. Let's be on our guard.
Ha ha ha.
You're right. It is a little ominous for there to just be like a small, moderately inhabited island in the middle of sea hydras and giant ship-eating jellyfish.
And absolutely no wind. Yeah, that is a bit weird.
There's also like a comedic. I don't know how to describe it in the best way, other than like. Did you guys see the movie Glass Onion? Like, there's just an eccentric billionaire out here, like D&D. So it's an eccentric billionaire hag who's gonna try and bargain us out of our souls.
And then we have to ruin a priceless piece of art.
Yeah, this house looks glass on the map.
Are you saying Hillary's hanging out on Epstein's island?
No, I am not.
Your mission is to destroy her email servers. Go.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist.
No, that's not what I said at all. I said,
Well, we won't know
no,
until we
I
make land.
agree. I agree. It looks very dangerous.
That's why you should go there.
We should definitely investigate. It looks horribly dangerous, and we should check it out immediately.
I think let's go.
Every good story has to be somewhat unbelievable.
Worst case scenario, I guess we start taking apart that dock in order to fix the ship. But,
There you go.
yeah.
Hey,
Just to
actually,
clarify,
that's not a terrible idea.
yeah, it's lumber, like pre-milled lumber. Just to clarify, you said 4 days on the ship. We all have had long rests, yes?
Yes, that is correct. I like the message.
Thanks.
I'm drowning.
I wish I
we
could
do need
spell.
some kind
though.
of help because this is clearly the skeleton of a ship.
I was wondering what the Hellid was.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oops. Oh boy. Okay.
After our interesting discussion, Gedlin is now curious about backpack ballista for halflings using a heavy crossbow. Can I make this shoulder fired?
That would be awesome.
What's your intelligence?
Yeah.
Not great.
Make a
Yeah,
construction check for me.
Intelligence has to be pretty high to cross. God damn it! Cross class into artificer.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I can get rid of the wind sounds now that you're on this dock. I'm presuming you all dock. The captain and the first mate would be in agreement. Like, yeah, we gotta do something. We obviously are. We got a long ways to go, and we can't work with no rudder. And it's probably going to take a few days to fashion and install one. Yeah.
Right.
Now they
Knock on the creepy door.
they've decided that the crew are going to stay at the ship and work on things, but you are free to go off and explore. In fact, they encourage you to do so in the hopes that you may see if there is anyone who is currently living here who may assist, or to scout out any potential danger. And then, as a bonus, if you find food, that's awesome. If not, oh well, we should have enough in the larder.
I'll run security for anyone that wants to go find stuff or like reach out or anything.
Okay. As
To
everyone's
anyone
kind of
here.
disembarking, Musrim finally decides to take his union nap in the barrel.
That's a great way.
Head off.
Alright, well, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Have a good night.
Yep, I'll see everyone later.
See you later.
Next week.
Bye.
Okay. So that brings us down to... Okay, so that'll be 3 of us then. What do you guys want to do when you actually make port at this island?
I think we need to.
Zorn said it looks super suspicious, but like we're gonna need timber. We have a huge chunk taken out of our deck. We need new gunnels. We need a rudder. We need a lot of time and labor and like to like remove the trees. So I think we got to clear this island, or at least like investigate the almost certainly evil threat that is up there.
Yeah, so the way I'm going to justify it is like the light green is grass, right? So this dark green are the trees.
Right.
And where's the biggest tree? Right there.
Yep.
So we need to go get that. So we better go check it out.
Isn't that conveniently located?
I would also like to suggest that we spend at least an hour or two making. I assume we have some kind of leather or canvas, and we make straps, and those straps get nailed onto the barrel that Buzarin is in, so that we can carry around the backpack.
Carry the dwarf.
Just so next week he can be there.
Okay, just remember, we are all halflings.
And he's a dwarf.
Okay.
No.
How about this? How about we just roll his barrel along as we go? And then, like, any time we're about to get into it, we just kind of like do that like Cooper thing where you like you're rolling the barrel and you just like flip it up and it like spins and then stops.
Yes.
We just do that every time we're about to be in a fight.
He's like a Pokemon, but he's in a barrel instead of a ball.
That's sort of I choose you roll.
I was just trying to create a narrative reason why he can be there if we are not back in the
I like this a lot. This is in my head as canon now.
This is
I've
peak
decided it.
peak role playing
We just-
going on.
We just roll him around in his barrel while he's napping. Or like he's passed out drunk, right? Because he's a drunken monk.
Yeah.
So he's like, he's
Well,
passed out drunk in his barrel. It's like, all right, just put the lid on, just roll him. He'll wake up when he wakes up. Like, it's fine.
I like the
So
idea.
Valmira's
like,
super
like,
like ripped. She's got
I'll
this.
just like run on top of it, like one of those guys in the logs
Yeah.
in the water. Land. We'll
The
make the
circus
whole game out of
performer.
it. We'll have
Dex
Well,
of 16,
Olympics.
so I can sub out too. I can do that. I can put on the barrel.
The character art for Miserin that I want is that like he's a drunken monk, but he keeps waking up every single day having vomited on himself to the point that it makes him want to go sober. He goes sober and keeps vomiting on himself, and it's at the end of the campaign that we realize it's because we're rolling him everywhere and he's just throwing up because he's dizzy.
That was
really deep.
that was deep. That was a deep cut.
And then he came back to drinking because that wasn't the problem.
I'm gonna have to remember that. You know what? You guys are joined by one other person who comes out. Can you guess who it is?
Oh
Be
my
the
god, my
captain.
favorite NPC, it's the fisherman guy.
It's Balin the
fisherman guy.
fisherman comes out and he says, "Morning. Nice day for fishing, ain't it?"
Sir, yes
finally.
it
Where have
is.
you been like the past few days?
Morning.
Y'all. I think he's the ghost. He's a ship ghost.
You know, I'm actually kind of curious. Have you ever tried to catch a hydra while fishing?
Nice day for fishing, ain't it?
I hear what you're saying. I think next time there's a hydra, you gotta come back up on deck. And I think maybe we can just catch it.
Morning. Morning.
It's a nice day for fishing, ain't it?
That nice day for fishing. And he leaves. There is a rhyme and a reason to what he says. You just don't know it right off the bat because you don't speak Balin.
I think I'm learning.
Is this like Hodor? Like
Yeah, it's like that.
Hodor. Or like it's like Groot.
I am Groot.
I'm just gonna say, the Hold the Door episode was like the last good episode of that entire show.
I never saw the show. I just saw the memes.
Oh, okay. It was an impactful and powerful episode in the midst of a season that was absolute shit. And it was the last good episode.
This review brought to you by Jared.
Tell us how you really feel, Jared.
Hodor.
The showrunners, DB Weiss and whatever the other guy's name was, had absolutely no idea what they were doing. And as soon as they ran out of source book material, they showed how shitty of people they are.
Wow.
Everything up until the end of the books, though, was spot on.
So is it like Rings of Power compared to the real Lord of the Rings?
Rings of Power is nothing but fan fiction because it doesn't even follow the Silmarillion.
I am very glad to hear you say that.
It was entertaining though. I don't want to completely shunt it out of there. Like it just wasn't what it should be.
I've heard from like if you're not super into being like Tolkien authentic, it's a fine movie. But for all of us that are probably unhealthily obsessed with Tolkien, it just chaps the hide too much.
Yeah, it was fully entertaining. They just should have followed the lore. There was no reason for them to do the weird fan service that they did.
Indeed.
I mean, the creation of the Rings of Power is a pretty compelling story all by itself. Like the original Tolkien story of like the creation of the Rings of Power was pretty interesting. Like pretty compelling.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to force anything unnatural. Do you guys want to explore the island at all?
Yes, I was just going to joke. Dear Muzarim, once you left, we didn't do shit. Let's move on. I think that's exactly what Thorin realizes. It's going to take more like lumber than we can source from this side of the island, and realizes the only large trees in sight are up by the building. So, what do you guys say? I think we need to go.
I say we approach the house. We got to at least try, and I'm ready if it's a hag. We got it.
Excellent. As you walk along the pathway, you see things are they're definitely well worn. There's no sign that anyone's been here that you know of. There's no footprints or anything like that. In fact, there's not even any animal tracks on this dirt path. Though, despite that, there was That's right. There's a very reasonable condition dock, though, and there are very obviously man-made steps in the path every so often, as this path winds its way up the cliffside towards the large stone building looming in the distance. And by large, it might be more accurate to say that it is relatively tall compared to the rest of this island. It definitely crafted from stone that came out of some rock that makes up this island. It's not particularly wide or deep. As you approach, the path narrows and descends down into a sort of serene little, almost like a yard, but it's natural. It's not. It wasn't maintained by any landscaper or anything of that sort. It's just a serene, peaceful, natural little area in which that stone building is built. As you gaze upon the building, you notice that it's rather plain. There are no windows. It stands 2 or 3 stories tall. It's completely rectangular, and the roof is made of stone as well. Very boxy, with one human-sized door made of what appears to be oak wood, just at the foot of the path, and it seems to be a little bit on the worn side. Again, no footsteps or animal tracks anywhere to be seen. You do find a couple berry bushes along the side of the road as well.
During our trek up here, is there anything else that would suggest that something about this island is not natural? Like, you said there was no tracks or animals, but I'm thinking, are there birds? Did we see any lizards? Did we see shore crabs while we were near the water? Is there any something? Is there just kind of anything naturally weird about our trek other than what you described?
I would say there's small game like rabbits, crabs, like you said.
So it's not completely
Probably like-
devoid of life.
Right. It's like I probably should have said there's no big game tracks. There's no sign
Yeah.
that any humanoids have been here recently. At least not since the last time it rained. There are weird little stone structures every so often, usually where the steps are. There are these little stone columns, one on each side of the path, that just stick up about 3 feet in the air, and that's about it to them. No inscriptions or anything.
Like a cairn kind of thing? Is there anything about them that would make, like, kind of clue us into anything? Like, like send up any warning sign or, just like pings in our heads or anything?
You could do an insight check for that. Be kind of on the
terrible, or I'll
on-
help you out.
on the medium side.
Guys, D&D Beyond Bull Speed.
Wow. You apparently are an expert on stonemasonry. You peering at these stone pillars, you surmise that there is absolutely nothing of importance to them. They are, in every sense of the word, vague and meaningless.
I even know what cliff they carved these.
You look over your shoulder and you're like, oh, that's where the stone
Okay.
came from.
Yeah, they grabbed those from right over there.
Purely decorative.
Yeah, you mentioned as we came in there were some berries. Do I recognize the berries?
Yeah, there's a nice patch of blackberry bushes.
Man, I keep trying to get this motherfucker to get me to roll survival. He won't do it.
I'm that kind of guy where I don't do a DC unless there's the chance of hilarious failure.
Okay, yep.
And sometimes I will do it just because I think it spices it up, but I feel like
Okay.
I don't know. Sometimes
No, totally.
I just love giving you information that is completely unnecessary and doesn't mean anything in the story, like blackberry bushes.
Perfect. So what I'm getting right now is that there are no like out of the ordinary vibes as
Yeah,
we're
not-
approaching this place.
Not really, other
Other
than
than
there's
this
a
place.
big stone building with a single door in front of it that has no markings on it.
What do you guys think? Do we go?
Oh, definitely haunted. Definitely haunted.
I was gonna just ask if we knock, but now you got me a little nervous, man. Why do you think it's haunted?
I mean,
I just-
come on.
I-
Look at it. Look at it.
You could have made up so I probably couldn't do the text magic.
Liz, you need to like move the microphone away from your face or something.
Yeah, you're like completely blown.
I can't handle it. That's hilarious.
Yep, you're right. Haunted. There's ghosts. I heard them.
I mean, like, what are the chances? Like, realistically, given our journey, given how things have progressed for us so far, what are the chances this is a benign random structure in the middle of a random island that has a path and that it just exists here for no reason? Like, what are the chances? Like, it's not a lighthouse. Like, like what are the chances this is a benign structure?
I understand that we're playing life, right? But we're actually we lost our rudder the day we left that last island. We're really not that far away from civilization. Like this could just be a house, right?
I mean,
You know
I
what?
need you to
You
say
know what,
yes
though?
right
I'm
now.
feeling this.
then for
This
you, I
is
will say yes.
truly-
I will say yes. For you, this could be a house. I'm just gonna look over Valmir and just be like,
Felmira, you've been trying to talk for a good few minutes now, and us men just keep talking over you. What are you trying to say?
If it really is abandoned, we could just start looting the place from the outside in. And if it's not abandoned, then somebody's gonna come out. But at least we're not on their doorstep.
Right, but So what you're saying is you don't think it's haunted. That's what I heard. That's what I'm taking. No need to
I mean,
clarify.
I think there's some tomfoolery going on.
I just said there was no need to clarify. Why do you got to do that to me?
It's gonna be okay, bud. It's gonna be okay.
I'm gonna
We'll watch your
land
back.
right in between you and Gallon.
I like gently nudge you forward so that I'm behind you for sure.
Behind me?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's rabbits and voles that direction. I don't know what's in that direction. I'm good back here. Thank you.
That direction. The house. Okay. Well, no time like the present.
He's just really scared of the rabbits.
Nope. I just don't want to get in. There's been a lot of action lately, and I just, like I said when we first met, I'm here to support you, but I don't need to. Yeah.
It's an appropriate response. You're good.
I'm here to support.
All right.
Okay. I need at least one of y'all to go up to the front door with me.
I'll go up to the front door with you, no problem.
I'll go with you. I'm just gonna be behind you.
Cool. Okay, cool. So we go and knock on the front door. I want to have like my shield in front of me. I think I have it on. Like, not trying to look like I'm here for a fight, just like, to make it look quote unquote more official. But like, if they do pick up on how worried I am, it might be a defensive thing.
If your teammates pick up on how worried you are?
No, the other person. Whoever answers, if anyone answers the door.
Gedlin is not afraid of ghosts.
Are you knocking on the door then? Is that what's happening?
Uh-huh. Yep.
There is a brass knock centered in the middle of the door. Very plainly carved. Not carved, but very plainly crafted knocker there. As you pick it up and you knock, it makes a rather dull and kind of not very appealing sound. Kunk, kunk. And
this is a gigantic mimic. I'm gonna cry.
The sound echoes through the room on the other side, and you hear it bouncing back. And you give it a good minute, and there is complete silence from the door.
Well, no news
4,
is good
3, 2, 1, and time to go in.
Go in.
The door opens, leaving, opening, the light shining in from the outside, highlights that there are many, many cobwebs in this building.
Perfectly benign, not haunted house or structure we can explore.
We come in peace.
Oh, that is not the sound I want.
You have to yell hello as you enter a strange building. I say as we're entering. Hello. Is anybody here?
Looks pretty
Hello,
abandoned
hello.
to me, partner.
Is anyone here? Is anyone here? Is anyone here? Is anyone here?
Cricket.
Well, we just came in.
In.
Where are you?
Ooh.
I'm just fucking with you guys.
Okay, well, we're gonna go take a bunch of resources now.
Ow.
Well,
You'll
just
know
a
where
quick-
to find us as I walk out the door.
You said it was like there's no windows that we could see. Is it like dark inside?
It is pitch black inside, though. You do see a what would you call it? Like a sconce on the other wall that can be lit. Can be lit.
Sure. Real quick, in my immediate vicinity, is it like extremely dusty? Like the floor hasn't been walked on? Are we leaving
Right.
footprints?
Right,
Okay.
yes. That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, abandoned structure. Probably haunted. Hard to say.
I mean, ghosts often have good treasure. Just throwing that out there. I've been on several excavations for the church. You know, sometimes come across crypts. So I'm telling you, scary guys always have the best treasure. You just put that seed in your head right now.
I didn't have you pinned as the treasure hoarder of the group. I don't know why. I should have. Now that I think about it.
Listen, it's not treasure that I like. It's what I can do with the treasure, like turn it into money and then buy things that make people happy. Like yeah, like or like
long bottom
you know,
leaf.
feed it back into the back into the church.
Uh-huh.
Maybe get some extra good mead. Up the rations for the ship next time we're in port. You know, treasure can do a lot of good stuff that makes a lot of people happy.
Some
Some of it makes me look cool.
Yeah, you don't have to describe it. You don't have to explain it. I've known people like, yeah, I get it. Don't worry about it. Do you want me to try and figure out if there's anything here?
Yeah, let's figure it out. If it wasn't clear, Gedlin definitely comes from money. Like
now that I'm inside, can I cast detect magic?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Because I can't do it through stone, I don't think. So no, but now that I'm inside.
I think it does work through stone, doesn't it? Sorry.
I think it's stopped by 1 cubic foot of stone or something like
Oh,
that.
it's 1 foot
Yeah.
of stone. Okay, yeah.
So like you can see through like normal walls typically. I was then. That's along the same lines I was thinking. So, good job working with me.
There, no problem. You do your thing. Well, not completely split up, but you know.
I
Yeah,
don't
you do
remember.
your thing first because I'm looking for.
We'll
Does
take
that one
the
take a
first.
roll? I don't think it does.
No.
No, it does not.
You
What
detect
is
nothing.
1A under timing? Oh, it's like a one and done. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you
It's
detect
up
nothing.
for you get
10 minutes,
I
I
believe
think.
it's up 10 minutes. That sounds right. One action plus 10 minutes within 30 feet of yourself. You can see magic.
And
Or,
that
like,
would
magical
cover.
things give off an aura.
I would say that would cover the entire inside of this structure you're in, the floor that you're standing on.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Here, let me read this real quick.
Obviously, things not exactly to scale on this map.
Okay, so Gedlin?
Gedlin?
Gedlin. Gedlin. Treasure. If we were to find treasure, like what kind of thing would you be looking for? Would you say excite you the most?
Anything magical usually is valuable or more valuable.
Yeah, in like the form of rock.
In the form of what?
A rock. Like, what would you say the form of like it would look like? Like, if you were to find treasure, what would be something that like, is typically a round treasure?
I mean, there's always gold and silver, of course, coinage.
That's pretty vague.
Also, enchanted armor or arms would also potentially be quality treasure. Anything made out of precious metals or covered in gemstones. Again, enchanted, really anything. Ooh, I read once that there's these wizards. They really like these orbs that float through the air. They light up like a torch, but they never burn out. They just follow you around so you can always see. I've heard those are sometimes found in like wizards' towers.
and those are pretty cool, and like people pay a lot of money for those. But like,
Okay.
yeah, mostly just like anything covered in gold and jewels or magical in nature,
Okay.
or like potions. Honestly, though, the one thing that people aren't looking for is old bottles of wine, and I'm your guy for that. I'll let you know if it's good or bad.
That was a much larger list than I was expecting, with very little specificity. I'll go with my tried and true, and I will cast Detect Object, Locate Object, and I will look for, in general, jewelry.
There you go.
Mm.
Oh, interesting. Detect. What was it called? Detect object.
Locate Object. It's a second level divination. Concentration up to 10 minutes. Describe. It gets kind of wonky. It's a long one, but you sense the direction of the object's location as long as the object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know its direction of movement. It does say, it goes into rules about like a specific object that is known to you, but then does say alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind,
Oh,
such
I
as a
see.
certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon.
You're looking for jewelry.
So I'll look for the most basic jewelry, earrings.
You don't sense anything of that sort. I guess you might get an inkling that there's something down below where you stand.
Okay, well, so great adventure, everybody. I've got the inkling in my toes that there's a basement to this place, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, I think we have to investigate for science.
Do we, though? We're here to ask about that big tree, and nobody's here to tell us no.
There's no one to tell us no. We can, I guess, if you want, I can fly back to the ship and let them know that there's no one up here. Then they can come take the big tree while we explore the basement for treasure and fight ghosts, because there's definitely going to be ghosts.
Well, see, you say good things and then you say bad things, and I'm not sure how to take your general sentiment.
But it's okay. You don't have to be afraid of ghosts. They're not that scary.
You know, guys, this would be an excellent time to stop so that I can make sure that that this plays out to your expectations. I do have stuff that is absolutely going to happen, but I want to make sure that I do a good job, and I feel like I'm not really quite there yet. But give me a week, and I will be ready.
Okay. Do not feel an obligation to add in ghosts. Don't let Gedlin's assuredness that there is ghosts here affect the situation at all.
The roleplay is so fun.
Role-played.
I just love you guys have I don't know. There's just great chemistry in the roleplay going on. I just really like it. So I'm going to try to play to that.
Yes, and
Right.
So I think if we leave off here and we pick up again next week, I will have some more stuff, because I wasn't sure how I wanted to lead into this anyway, but now I think I know how. So yeah, this worked out great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate the candor too. If you're not prepared, just call it.
Yeah, it's okay. We're good.
That's the right thing to do.
Right, 100%. She's like, I want this to be cooler than made up on the spot, so we're gonna have to do this next week.
I like that. Yeah. I'm pretty stoked for it though. I mean, I've had the skeleton of this kind of designed for about how long? Like a month and a half now. So I've known what I wanted to do, but I keep not actually putting a whole lot of time into it. That is a spooky webcam with you shrouded in darkness, Jared.
I just realized how dark it was. That'd be funny.
You guys are fun to do this with.